Good morning, CSL.
Morning.
Let's all stand up and make a joyful noise. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the room with shouts of praise. Spirit is in this place. All right, guys, one more time. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the room with shouts of praise. Spirit is in this place. Raise the room with shouts of praise. Spirit is in this place. Yes, 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 yes. That's the type of energy that I need on a Sunday morning. I love it. Once again, good morning. Good morning, CSL family, and good morning
Morning,
to our viewers, whether our online viewers, whether you're viewing us on Facebook or YouTube or on our website, which is cslftl.org. We're very glad that you're here with us. As I tell you all here in the sanctuary every week, during the next 1-minute video, if you all want to stand up and greet your neighbor with a happy Sunday, good morning, namaste, now's the time to do that during the next 1-minute video, but also please be very aware that some people are still practicing social distancing and be very, very respectful of those folks, okay? So we'll be right back in 1 minute, and once again, good morning.
Morning.
We're so glad you're spending time with us today. Your support is always appreciated at CSL. Remember, there are several ways to give. As you watch today's service, you can click the donate button right here on Facebook or donate on our homepage, cslftl.org. There's also a regular giving program called TPL where you can set up a monthly contribution. You'll find the details on our website, cslftl.org.
Here's a great way to stay in touch with CSL, Center for Spiritual Living. It's our brand new app available in the App Store under Center for Spiritual Living, FL, that's Florida.
Make sure to say hello to everyone today in the comments section and let us know your thoughts. We are a loving and diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service, and we're so glad you're here.
Come on. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh,
told me that I had to be good, but I love because I want to. I love because I am free, blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is.
Oh, come on.
The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, 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 I don't need anybody. I don't need any law. I want to sing with all my heart. God is my one and all. I let go of my burden. Loving God has made me free. Blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Yes, it is.
Oh, come on.
The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, every day. The Spirit of God is upon me. It's upon me. Oh, don't you know? The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh.
Now we know y'all having trouble sitting there not clapping your hands. Come on.
Oh, the Spirit of God is upon me. 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 Oh, every day. The Spirit of God is upon me. It's upon me. Oh, don't you know? The Spirit of God is upon me. It's upon me. Oh, every day. The Spirit of God is upon me. It's upon me. Oh, don't you know? The Spirit of God is upon me. Oh.
Yes. Woo. Sorry, y'all have to forgive me because that's a dancing song where I come from. That is amazing. You know, Ricky Byers, who wrote that song, is going to be here in our community on April 9th. Get ready. We have a concert of Ricky Byers along with Antonio Edwards will be here for a fundraiser for our music department. It's going to be amazing. I love that song. That is probably my favorite Ricky song. So anyway, let me get back to service. I'm so excited here. Good morning, CSL. I'm Reverend Skip Jennings, and it is my honor and my privilege to be here this morning. Last night we had a gala, y'all. It was amazing. It was my first. Oh, it was so good, and y'all looked so good. So anyway, we have some core values here. We have 7 core values, and they are love, healing, oneness, abundance, spiritual growth, service, and diversity. Today we're going to focus in on service. It is again my honor and privilege to bring up our brand new Sacred Service Coordinator, Maya Bleither. Come on up. Yeah, this is really big.
Thank you, Rev Skip. Thank you so much. And my name is Maya, and it's a pleasure to be up here. Thank you for allowing me to be of service to this community. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and why service is so important to me. I'm a recovering addict, and my addiction took me to a very dark place. I was consumed with resentment, anger, and fear. I was isolated, alone, and spiritually bankrupt. And it was service from others initially who brought a message of hope to me. Some of those women who happen to be sitting in the audience today. that saved my life, quite literally. So I've been taught to give back so that I can keep what I have today, which is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I like to think of sacred service here as the heartbeat of our community. It keeps it alive and thriving. So there's a variety of sacred service teams that you can participate in here. I mean, everything from greeters to ushers, events like last night's gala, and thank you, by the way, to all the sacred service team members. Without them, it would not have gone off as flawlessly as it did. It was amazing, so thank you. Audio and visual, and matter of fact, right now I am looking for a social media liaison. So anyone that's fluent in the language of social media, please see me after. I'm going to be out in the lobby for anybody interested in sacred service. Also, we have an app for everything, and now we've added a sacred service tab to our app. It's under events. You can just click on sacred service under events, sign up that way. So, you know, we talk about changing the world here at CSL, and we all know that takes a team and it takes work. And together, I believe we can move mountains. So, like I said, I'll be out in the lobby. Please come see me afterwards. And I'd just like to end with a quote by the musician James Durst, who said, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back." Thank you, and enjoy the service.
We are so grateful to have you. Thank you so much for coordinating our sacred service. So our core value today is service. So it is.
Once again, good morning, CSL. My name is Antonio Edwards. I'm the music director here, and we are still celebrating Black History Month. And I chose this next song because, first of all, it's an important song to me. I really enjoy singing it. And I know that a lot of you will be familiar with it, but I wanted to give you just a little bit of a backstory on the song. The song was recorded by Elvis Presley in June of 1968, and it was just 2 months after Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination. The recording was first released to the public as the finale of Elvis Presley's 1968 comeback special, which some of you might remember. The composer was asked to write a song as a grand finale to Elvis, and it is also known as the 1968 comeback special. Knowing about Elvis Presley's fondness for Dr. Martin Luther King and about his devastation related to his then recent assassination, he wrote "If I Can Dream," with Presley in mind. After Presley heard the demo, he proclaimed, "I will never sing another song that I don't believe in." At this time, "If I Can Dream." There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Gotta be birds flying higher in the sky of blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh, why, oh, why won't that dream come true? Oh, why? There must be peace and understanding sometime. Strong winds of promise that'll blow away all the doubt and fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone. Tell me why, oh why, oh why won't that sun appear? We're lost in a cloud with too much rain. We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. He can fly. Deep in my heart, there's a struggling question. Still, I am sure that the answer's gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a beckoning candle. And while I can think, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, while I can dream, please let my dream come true.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Right now. Right now. Right now.
Whew. And what Chris Michael said last week is to follow that. We followed that. Oh my goodness, please look at the person next to you and tell them there's no place like CSL. Look at the other person, tell them there's no place like CSL. We are here to experience love. I love how the Black History Month and the Love Month come together. Can you imagine that? Not by mistake, but it's orchestrated. So we're celebrating Black History Month and the Love Month, and we're talking about change. Wow. I have a video I want to share with you. This is done by our marketing partner, Baxter Martin. Let's look at this video. Welcome to CSL. And the greatest shift that we have in our life is moving from grief to resilience. This is what we're talking about today. And all month we've been talking about change. We've been talking about how change is challenging, sometimes unwanted, but it's possible. And that's why we are looking at change this month. So, moving from grief to resilience, and I think one of the greatest examples that we have is our enslaved ancestors. And I say ours because once people have crossed over into the realm of the ancestors, they no longer, I got my background music, they no longer have color, gender, they no longer have a race. They simply are our ancestors that are here to guide us, to move us, and to bring us forward. So I say our enslaved ancestors. The enslavement was an experience. It wasn't who they are or who they were. It was an experience. So we're looking at grief today, and let's look at what grief really is. Grief is a deep sorrow caused by death and an appearance of loss, a powerful disruption in one's life. Now, I say an appearance of loss because I believe that there is nothing lost in the mind of God. There is nothing lost in the mind of God. And yes, we do have people who've made transitions into life after life, but their spirit is still here with us, the ancestors. They're still here. And yes, we go through the grief of losing people. And I'm not here to tell you your grief is not valid. I'm not here to tell you that you do not need to go through your grief. You are going through your grief because it is a human experience. But it's something that's greater, that's emerging from our grief. There are 7 stages of grief, and we've all gone through this. So this is not a unique experience. This is a deep experience that is shared with everyone. These 7 stages of grief is shock, denial, bargaining, guilt, anger, depression, and then hope. We've all gone through these stages. So, during Black History Month, and, I do a lot of study of the enslaved ancestors, and I was looking at the Middle Passage. If you do not know what the Middle Passage is, the Middle Passage was the travels from the enslaved ancestors from the homeland to Virginia. The first slave landed in Virginia in 1619. That was the first documented enslaved ancestor. So the Middle Passage was incredibly horrendous. The experience was deep. And can you imagine this? You're going out to the shores for a picnic or to the water, or you're just doing your everyday life, and here comes someone who snatches you and puts you in a dungeon. That's a shock. Can you imagine being in a dungeon and thinking, what is going on here? What is happening here? This can't be true. Denial. And then can you imagine being in the slave ships going into where you don't even know where you're going? You're bargaining, God, if you can just get me out of this. I don't want to feel this. If you imagine the guilt that our enslaved ancestors felt because they could not help one another, and then the anger, and then, of course, the depression of working in the fields, but then there's hope. See, this message did not actually begin in enslavement, and it did not end there either. President Obama. That's a rising up. That's a rising up from enslaved ancestors, from that grief to resilience. Now, this grief is a journey. It is an absolute journey. And what is the journey all about? Number one, it's awakening. It's awakening to love. I really truly believe that our grief was designed for us to receive love. Mark Nepo, in a book called Upon Awakening, says this, that if we look at the rain and the water that carves a little bit of into the land, a little bit of corners into the land to water the little flowers, this is what life does to us. It carves to allow love to water our hearts. It is a journey of the totality of life. Because there is not just the good things that we like to experience, and there's just not the things we don't want to experience. The totality of life and the totality of God and the universe, it is a full experience. My mother used to say to me, at one point in my life, I was going through a lot of grief. And she would always say to me, son, it came to pass not to stay. And then she would also remind me of a scripture that would say that a weeping man endures through the night, but joy comes in the morning. If you're here in your grief right now, you're not meant to stay here. You're here to rise up. You're here to have this awakening of your strength, of your power, how you can endure anything. You just don't give up. I believe grief is an awakening to compassion, because how can you be compassionate with someone if you're not going through something yourself? See, we go through these experiences so that we may rise up and help someone else. I guarantee you that service, as Maya was talking about, what she has gone through has helped her to help other people. Okay, there we go. We're back on again. Going through it. I'm growing through it, absolutely. So grief also is a journey to the participation of life in an emergence experience, the fullness of life. It's a self-realization. There's been moments in the middle of my grief I felt more alive than when things were going okay. I woke up. When you're in the middle of the grief, there are 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. What is seeking to emerge? Or another way of saying that is, what am I here to learn? Second question, who am I? The third question is, how can I serve? Those are your 3 questions in the middle of your grief. I love this saying that you've heard before. The pain will push until the vision pulls. The vision pulling us is a movement to resilience. Let's look at resilience. Resilience means this. It's the capacity to recover from difficulties. It is the toughness to withstand adversity from life. See, life on life terms, the ebb and flow of life, it will take you on a roller coaster. You'll either roll with it or you'll get rolled over by it. Your choice. Your choice. And when we understand that we have the capacity and we have the ability to withstand anything, then we're able to move forward. There is a process in building resilience. It doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes it does, but most of the time it takes a process. I'm going to give you 5 D's of the process of building resilience. The first one is drive. And when you think about driving, we drive forward, although some of y'all Florida people drive sideways. I don't know how you do that, but you do. But we drive forward. Think about driving forward. What are we driving to when we're driving towards resilience? We're driving forward to our vision. We're driving forward to the universe. We're driving forward out of our grief and suffering. And the Buddha says that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. We don't have to suffer when we choose not to suffer. We want to drive forward to someplace. We're driving forward to God, to love, embracing life again. Some of us have to learn how to love again. Trust. The next D is determination. Determination is, I'm not going to give in to my suffering today. I am willing to do the work to shift my experience. Suffering is not something you have to do. Yes, we'll go through the pain, but you're determined not to give in to your suffering. Devotion is the next D. Devotion to the divine. Your love for God is the most important thing that you can have. Your love for spirit, your love for life, your love for the intentionality of growth. It's the most important thing that you can have. Everything comes from our devotion. In yoga, we call it bhakti yoga, the devotion to the divine. So those who get on the mat, they're there to be in devotion to spirit. When we come together in a community, that is devotion. That is devotion to one another. This is fellowship. Devotion to the divine. Your 4th D is discipline, and this is a big one. The discipline will bring us to a place of transformation. It requires the work. You've heard Dr. Chris and myself talk about meditation. We have to sit. And it's not a good meditation, not a bad meditation, it's just meditation. And some days we sit because we know eventually we will shift. Sometimes we get the endorphins. Sometimes that was a great meditation. Ooh, sometimes it's not. But we are disciplined to sit no matter what because it changes our life. We're disciplined in prayer. We're disciplined with all the things that will bring us to a transformation. We are disciples of transformation. And the last one is direction. Sometimes we have to ask for help. We have practitioners here. I'm a practitioner. We have practitioners here that when you don't or you can't see the love that you are, you sit in front of a practitioner and allow the practitioner to hold space for you. Ask for direction. The greatest direction that we can ask for is direction from within. And the only way we can get direction from within, we must have a practice of sitting down and listening. Sitting down and listening. So we start smart. So we start smart and slow and baby steps. That's what we do. I want to share a story with you of this transformation. One of the greatest mystics, teachers I've ever known, that I've ever been in the presence of studying. This mystic came to life in a little book, and I just feel like I know him, but yet I've never met him. George Washington Carver. Do you know who George Washington Carver is? Yeah? Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. And if you don't know who George Washington Carver is, there's a great little book. It's called The Man Who Talked with Flowers. It's by Glenn Clark. Please check it out. But let me tell you a little bit about George Washington Carver, this journey. George Washington Carver was born a slave. Before he was born, his father died. Him and his mother and his sister were kidnapped by night riders to be taken to Arkansas. And it was his master at the time, Carver, who actually gave him his last name, Carver, actually negotiated his release with these night riders. Here's something that we don't all know about this, but I've done the research. George Washington Carver was castrated as a young boy. And that's what they did back then when you were around a lot of or white women. That's what happened. He was a frail and sickly child. But that's a great amount of suffering. That's a great amount of grief, but that was not his end game. That was just the beginning. His adopted mother, Susan, because he could not work in the fields, took him into the house and said, I'm going to teach you everything else you need to know. Taught him how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of the home. She also introduced him to herbs. Herbs. And so he began to play with herbs and began to create medicine with the herbs. And he fell in love with the plant. He fell in love with soil. This is what he did. In 1894, he was the first African American to receive a bachelor's degree from Iowa State University. He went on to get his bachelor's degree in botany. He was invited by Booker T. Washington to come to Tuskegee University and to become one of the greatest teachers and professors ever known. He discovered crop rotation, which is still used today, and we've all benefited from crop rotation. If you ate an apple or an orange or you ate any type of a vegetable this week, thank George Washington Carver because he created the idea of crop rotation. After years of growing cotton in the South, the land was really dead. So it was George Washington Carver that said that if we plant nutrient plants to refuel the earth, we're going to be able to grow things again. So he began to plant peanuts, soybeans, and sweet potatoes. George Washington Carver created the first mobile classroom that he traveled from farm to help farmers to create a better crop. He also developed 300 foods, industrial, commercial products from the peanuts. And here's just a few of them. From the peanut, he created peanut milk. I've never had it. It's a thing. Peanut milk. He created Worcestershire sauce. We all use it, yeah? Cooking oils, salad dressings, cosmetics, soaps, wood stains. Also from the peanut, he created and invented peanut-based medicines, antiseptics, laxatives, things that we use today. He also traveled from here to India, and he worked with Gandhi, who was also experiencing a lack of food. They couldn't figure out how to grow food for the Indian population. They worked together. They worked together. He was asked, George Washington Carver was asked in an interview, how do you know so much? How do you know so much? George Washington Carver said, I get up every morning at 4 a.m. and I talk to God. That's discipline. He told him that he would ask God for direction through the plants. He would look at the plant and he would know that the universe was in that plant, and God would tell him exactly what was to be used in that plant. Direction. Here's a statement from George Washington, a quote from George Washington Carver, which I love. You have to love it enough. Anything will give up the secrets if you love it enough. That's what George Washington Carver said. That's devotion. I'm here to tell you this, my friends. Your grief and your suffering is not your end game. It is your journey. It is your doorway. It is your invitation to rise up. We can use what we go through as a way of becoming who we were meant to be. It is your beginning. It is not your end. We can make change that will not only affect us, because it starts with us first, but it will affect the world. Don't allow your grief to hold you back. Yes, we go through it, but a change is coming. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you just to listen to this quote. This quote is everywhere in my house now. It's in all my journals. It's a reminder for me. Dream like Martin. Lead like Harriet. Fight like Malcolm. Think like Garvey. Write like Maya. Build like Madam C.J. Speak like Frederick. Educate like W.E.B. Believe like Thurgood. Challenge like Rosa. Invent like George. Put your hands on your heart right now. Touch your heart. I want you to repeat after me. I am here to rise up. Say it again. I am here to rise up. I am here to rise up. I am here to rise up. Rise up, my family. Rise up. Rise up. And so it is. Amen. Sometimes we just have to hear it, and we say yes to it. The yes is always there. It's our willingness. It's our willingness. It's our willingness to change. It's to rise up. It's our willingness to release the shame and the guilt. Sometimes a simple willing to be willing is all you need. We get to meditate here. We get to go into a place where Spirit will meet us there.
I breathe out, I breathe in, I am still, I go within. When I quiet my mind, in the stillness I find. Spirit meets me there. Spirit meets me there.
This morning we get to build resilience. We get to go through the practice of cultivating. We get to look at ourselves. We get to go within and recognize in areas that we are continuing to suffer because that's all we've ever known. We get to ask God for direction. How can I be more? How can I serve? How can I find peace of mind again? Everything that we need is within us. But the meditation practice is a requirement for transformation. So let's meditate together. And as we go into that sacred space, allow Spirit to give you direction. How good it is to meet Spirit right where we are. How good it is to remember that we are the divine emanation of the one of love. This oneness permeates as each and every one of us and is in our time of quiet and peace that we know everything. This one power, this one presence, it is our doorway to everything. And as we are willing to release the time of suffering when we are ready, we step into joy. We step into loving again. We step into life again. This is our practice.
I breathe out, I breathe in, I am still, I go within. When I quiet my mind, in
Come on. Me and all my friends all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and be there. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat a system when we're standing at a distance. So we keep waiting, we're waiting on the world to change. Now, if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would have never missed a Christmas. No more ribbons on the door. And when you trust your television, what you get is what you got. 'Cause when they own the information, all they can bend and all they want. That's why we're waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we keep waiting on the world to change. All right, guys, come on. That's why we're waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting on the world to change. One day our generation is gonna rule the population. So we keep waiting. We're waiting on the world to change. Say we keep on waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting. We're waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change.
That's our CSL band, The Reflections. Let's give them another round of applause. My name is Todd Maznicki, and I'm impressed if you were here last night for the Roaring 20 Speakeasy event and you're here with us this morning. Thank you for being here. And if you're here for the first time, whether joining us streaming online or in the sanctuary, we're so pleased that you're here joining with us and spending some time with us this Sunday morning. And if you are here with us in person, please pick up a welcome packet that's available for you at guest services in the lobby after the service, and share some information about yourself with us. And we also have this pair of mala beads here for you, just for showing up and spending some time with us this morning. And if you're joining us online, please just comment and let us know in the comment section that it is your first time, and we appreciate you. If you want to stay connected with us all week long, we're not just here on Sundays. Please like us on Facebook, share us with your friends on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, go to our website, cslftl.org, or download our app, Center for Spiritual Living, FL. You can sign up for our newsletters, our email blasts, where you can get inspirational videos and messages throughout the week. If you're having challenges dealing with change, you can listen to this message again from Reverend Skip. The one thing I learned is I don't think I'll be speaking to God at 4 a.m. in the morning. We have an appointment at 7 a.m. every morning, so I know that to be true. So please stay connected with us through those forms of media. This is the part of the service where we like to practice the law of reciprocity. As we provide teachings and love and support you, you in turn support us so we can continue to do that by giving generously financially. So we are very grateful to you for that. And we have a special thank you going out to our TPL members who give a specific dollar amount every month that comes from their credit card or their bank account that we can depend on so we can be here to serve you uninterrupted. So thank you, TPL members. And don't forget, if you are a member of TPL, pick up your card at the entrance to the sanctuary so you can put it in the offering basket. If you'd like to learn more about being a part of TPL, please ask at guest services or one of our ambassadors that's in the lobby, and they'd be happy to talk to you about that. We've made it very easy for you to give. The ushers are going to be coming down the aisle. You can give on our app. You can give online. If you're watching us online, please support us by clicking on one of the donate links in the comments section on Facebook, or click donate on the live stream page on our website. Thank you so much for your generosity, for being a part of CSL, being here. Please stay in gratitude this week until we can all be here again together next time. Take care.
Please join us in singing God is My Source. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Well, isn't that the truth? God gives us everything we need. Absolutely. So, what a great day, huh? If you were here last night for the gala, you can go home and take a nap after this, because I know I am. I'm going home to take a nap. But if you're in the midst of your suffering and grief and you are looking for a shift, we have practitioners here. We have licensed practitioners who've gone through the journey of becoming licensed, so they may hold space for you. If you're a licensed practitioner, please stand up in the room. I want to make you guys know that these are our practitioners here. They're all over the room. They will pray for you after service today. You can book a session with them if you just want some deeper spiritual insight. Also, we have a prayer line that you can connect with our prayer line by dialing in the number there or going to the app and hitting the prayer button. You can access a prayer right away. And this month, our prayer is actually done by our youth department. So yeah, get that youth prayer in there. It's so good. We also have a youth department here, which I just mentioned, and they are thriving in deep, amazing ways. in deep, amazing ways. They're being led by Miss Pat and Kirby, and they're teaching them everything that we learned here today, they're learning in our youth department. So please bring your kids. We have a place for them here. So Foundations is still going on. We started the Foundation course, and I have some of my students in here, myself and Dr. Ferd, on Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock to 8:30. It's not too late. You can join this week. And this is the time where we do a deep dive into spirituality. It is the foundations of new thought, or the foundations of science of mind. We're studying things like prayer, meditation. We're studying our great avatars and leaders that brought forth science of mind, like Ernest Holmes. We get to do a deep dive, and we get to grow. We also have a course that Dr. Chris is going to be teaching. So let's run that video.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think Oprah, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk have in common? What might you think?
What might you think is their secrets?
Let me ask you a question. What do you think Oprah, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk have in common? What might you think they would have in common and share with each other? Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Michaels, and what I've done is a study of the world's wealthiest people and found out that they actually share some things in common with each other. The way they think, the way they act, the choices they make, and the habits they take. This is why I created the Prosperous Mind program, because I think you, too, can think like they do. This is what we offer in this course: 4 two-hour classes on Zoom or in person, 30 days of inspiration and connection via personal or text message from me, and access to a personal coach to connect you with people that are already thinking prosperously so that you can too. Build your wealth, create a consciousness of prosperity, learn how to do this. I can help. I'll share it with you. Join me.
The Prosperous Mind, everyone, begins March 1st, and that's on a Tuesday evening from 7 to 8:30, right here online, right here in the center, or online via Zoom. Sign up today. It's on the app. Go to the app or go to our website. $99, and it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. We also have a very special event that's coming up. It's Gary Renard will be here. He is a well-known author and speaker, and this is what Wayne Dyer talks about. Gary Renard's book, The Disappearance of the Universe, is a great importance to healing ourselves and our planet. So Gary Renard will be here March 19th all day long from 10 to 5. It's $99 per person.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think Oprah, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk have in common? What might you think they would have in common and share with each other?
I'm going to wait till that's done.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chris.
Dr. Chris is here. It's right behind you. So what Mike told me is I'm learning with the sound today is how to be resilient. So we're pressing through. It's okay. So let me tell you about the healing and wholeness of letting go of the past and finding true joy. This is what we're talking about today. We're holding on to our own suffering and past. We can move forward through this workshop. It is, again, March 19th. It's from 10 to 5 p.m. all day long, $99 per person here in our CSL community. So last night, we had a gala. It was amazing. And I talked to Dr. Chris today, yes. And I talked to Dr. Chris today, and he said to make sure we thank everyone. So we want to thank, first of all, our Sacred Service volunteers. Thank you so much, because we could not have done this without you. I want to thank everyone who attended the gala. And I don't know if it's gala or gala. I'm still confused about that. But thank you for attending the gala and all who donated. And I know some of you donated and you could not attend, so thank you for that as well. I would like to thank Cheryl Tony, who is our coordinator for everything. She did an amazing job. I would love to personally thank Maria. Maria was like the rock. She helped us get through so much yesterday. So thank you, Maria. And thank you to, yes. And thank you to all the staff, the entire staff who showed up, from the AV to all the greeters. Thank you so much. And thank you for being with us for the long announcements. All right. So it's time to do our affirmations. You have an affirmation card on your seat. Let's do it together. Yours is like mine. I wrote this one, and some of you have said to me, you like my long affirmations. So I'm going to keep writing affirmations the way I keep writing affirmations. So let's repeat together, let's say it together here. My mind is a tool to support my spirit. I have dominion over my thinking. My thoughts and speech supports my intention. Yes, it does. So let's know this together. I begin each prayer with gratitude because gratitude shifts into the right space of my heart. I am grateful for this community. I'm grateful for CSL. I'm grateful for each and every person that has said yes today to be here with us and online. I'm grateful to know that the one power, the one presence I call love is active here. That is the only thing that is happening. This power of love it's the life of each and every person here. There's no spot that love is not. So we celebrate in oneness and unity. It is so good to know that we can have our own shift out of suffering to rise up. And the work that we do here shifts the planet. I know that the time is right. The time is now for us to be who we are meant to be. I'm blessing this community, knowing that we do amazing work here, blessing all the kids and all the children. Oh, we celebrate love. We celebrate life. I know that this is a good day to carry this message into our communities, and we will shift this planet. And I give thanks, releasing this word into the law, knowing it's already done. And so it is. Amen. Amen. So let's rise up and let's do our closing song together. Thank you so much, CSL. We'll see you next week.
Please join us in singing This Is My Wish. This is my wish for the world, that peace would find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Whoa. Peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Have a wonderful week. Happy Sunday.
Thanks for taking part in today's live stream on Facebook. Your participation means so much to us. Remember, there are several ways to give. Click the donate button here on Facebook or donate on our homepage, cslftl.org. There's also a regular giving program called TPL where you can set up a monthly contribution. You'll find the details on our website, cslftl.org.
Here's a great way to stay in touch with CSL, Center for Spiritual Living. It's our brand new app available in the App Store under Center for Spiritual Living, FL, that's Florida.
Please stay in touch, and thanks again for participating in our live stream. We'll see you soon.